Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Emerson, the Small Biz Lady, and you're watching Small Biz Chat Live. We're now going to be talking with the lovely Dianna Geairn, the irreverent sales girl, and she's going to be talking to us about how to really leverage live events and trade shows to grow your business. When's the last time you went to a trade show and came back with nothing but a bill that you spent to go there? We want to stop the insanity on that. So Dianna Geairn, welcome. I'm so excited. You have this great new business called TradeShow Makeover. Tell us a little bit about it.
You know that I've been a sales expert for many, many years now, a couple decades. And it's recently, I've been working a lot with companies about what they're calling lead generation these days, which in my past days was cold calling, prospecting. Today is called lead generation. But what I found is the dirty little secret is a lot of companies are going to live events, and they're called a number of things: trade shows, expos, summits, conferences. They're sponsoring these shows, they're exhibiting at these shows, and they're coming home and all their leads are going dark. And so the way that they're justifying is that, well, we've gotten brand awareness. But one thing I know as a small business is brand awareness does not keep the lights on. It's deals. So TradeShow Makeover was founded to bring not marketing techniques and skill sets, but sales, proven sales techniques to create a winning sales strategy for your show, to dominate at the show by creating memorable experiences, and to generate revenue by turning those leads into deals. So instead of a lead generation machine, we're talking about making those live events a deal generation machine.
I love it. I love it. So let's step back a second though. How should a small business make the decision whether or not to even vend at a trade show? Because it's very expensive to do.
Well, it is. And this is why I'm extremely happy that you had me here today, because I hear from small businesses all the time. You know, small business owners are time starved, they're attention starved, and their time is incredibly precious. So is their money. And so finding the right places where you're going to be meeting with your ideal customers is absolutely critical for them, because not only does it cost money to attend, but it also costs your time away from the office. You spend a lot of money traveling, you spend a lot of money on food. Most companies that I work with haven't even figured out how to understand their return on investment. So this is a really expensive thing to do, but done well, there are some huge benefits. So how they decide is they talk to their ideal customers, the people that are already their clients, the people that they want to be their clients. They ask them, what events are you attending this year? What are the trends? What are the topics that you're going to get live information about? That is your best resource, and hardly anybody thinks of that. The other one is talk to find out where your competition is doing. Find out where they're going. Yeah. And then if there are people that are thought leaders that are going to be the speakers that you know, that if they knew about you, that you could capture the attention of their audience. That's the third way to find out what are the conferences, what are the live events that I should be attending.
Now, what are business opportunities are available at trade shows and live events that you can't get anywhere else?
Yeah, it's a really great question, Melinda, because live event sales is so different from any other kind of sales activity. So I'm going to give you a few statistics throughout this conversation from the Center for I can never get it right. The Center for Exhibition Industry Research, which most people just call the CEIR for obvious reasons. But one of the things that's really powerful is if you're a marketer and you're keeping track of what your cost per appointment is, what it costs to have a face-to-face appointment, which we all know is still, besides video is really good, but the face-to-face appointment builds rapport, builds trust, gives you opportunities that you would never have otherwise. So done well, if you go to the right shows and you're having the right activities before, during, and after, you can reduce your cost per appointment for your business by 40%. So that's one of the biggest numbers. And I think face-to-face meetings are still the way to close most of your business.
I actually completely agree with that. Now, talk to me. What kind of staff should you have when you go to a trade show? How many people do you need to have in your booth? Like, can two people handle it all, or do you need a third man to kind of be watching and chasing people down that are trying to walk by it?
Well, fabulous question. So when I'm working with larger companies, it's always who should we send to the show, because a lot of companies are just sending their sales development reps. But we're talking about small business here, and small businesses usually only have one or two people to spare. So I say, if you're the owner, you should go. People want to talk to the person who can make the decisions. But here's the thing, if you're exhibiting at the show, it is a good idea to have somebody else with you. And this somebody else should be somebody either in your company or a subject matter expert. They should not be somebody that can just have a high-level conversation. They need to be somebody who can go deep and give really valuable information. You want two people at least at your booth for one reason. The first one is you want somebody who can talk to people as they come by, but you need to be out there talking to other people. Do not hide behind your booth. Be in as many sessions as you can, be as many networking events as you can, and keep funneling people to your booth.
All right, so what are the top 3 mistakes people make when it comes to live events and trade shows?
Well, so my favorite thing to tell people is the most important 4 things to do when you're going to a show are prepare, 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 and then execute flawlessly. So I would say, to answer your question, people fail to prepare properly. I know we're time starved, but if you do your research ahead of time, you use Alex's excellent ideas about how to connect with people on social before you go, connect with the people that are the speakers, connect with other exhibitors. A lot of times other exhibitors could also be your clients. Connect with people who have attended in the past. Use the hashtag from the show to follow to see who's talking. Make sure that you're meeting up with those people. And I had a really good business piece of advice. If you don't go to the show with 2/3 of the meetings already set up that you need to have at the show for it to be successful, you should consider not going, because you're only going to meet about 1/3 out of opportunities. If you are intentional and diligent about setting up those meetings ahead of time, you're going to be more successful. The second one is, if you pitch people in your booth, or you're constantly pitching when you're talking, Ramon is a sales expert too, he can tell you this. The first thing that people don't want to hear from you is your pitch.
Right.
So people go and they pitch because they feel like, I've got to close some business. This is the time to discover things about each other. And the third thing is, they fail to ask for the appointment. When they have somebody who's interested and you've had a great conversation, you gracefully say, I know you're very busy. I know there are other things that you'd like to do while you're here. Why don't you and I continue this conversation after the show? Pull out your smartphone. Now, I know your heart's pounding like this while you're doing this, but pull out your smartphone, have them pull out theirs, and just end the conversation by setting an appointment.
I love it. And that is really, really good advice. Now, how do we make someone have a memorable experience in our trade show booth as we come across them at a show?
Well, this is one of the most difficult things to do, not because it's hard to do, but because most people are so thinking about themselves that they forget to think about who they're talking about. So Melinda, if I'm talking to you, Dale Carnegie, this is from 1936, right? Dale Carnegie, if you're interested in them, they'll be interested. And I promise you, if you're the one person that's interested in the person that you're talking to, really listening to them, that alone will be memorable to them. But to say, one really great way, I'm going to kind of work off of piggyback off of what Ramon said, but take a picture, take a video of you with your prospects in your booth and share it on social and say, I just had the most incredible opportunity to meet Alex. I learned so many social skills. You've got to meet him too. Share it on social. Then send it to them in an email afterwards, their video, so they can have it and say, I had such a great conversation with you. That's a memorable experience. It doesn't have to be this ginormous thing. Just make somebody feel special and they'll remember you.
I love that. I love that. All right, Dianna, you got to tell me, what is the best business advice you have ever been given?
The best business advice I was ever given was give before you ask. Always give something before you ask.
All right. I think that's good stuff. So if I recap what you're saying, you said this. Look, if you don't have 2/3 of your appointments set up before you go to the trade show, don't go, because you are not going to meet all the people you want to meet when you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. The next thing you said was be more interesting than interested, right? You got to be more
interested than interesting. Exactly. Exactly right.
Interesting. Like, act like you care about what this person is talking about and who they are as a person first. And then don't forget, take a picture of them, take a quick video of them in your booth, send it to them, keep the rapport going. And that's how you build a relationship that will eventually turn into pesos, right? That's what we want. We need money. Right?
That's right. It's all about the deals.
Right, because trade shows are expensive. So you better be really clear. And if I could just add one thing too, I don't go to any trade shows that 90% of my target audience isn't the people attending the trade show. So that is a rule that I have. And usually the first year of a trade show, I walk the show before I buy a booth. I walk the show and I talk to the other people who have booths at the show that are small businesses and find out if they felt like it was worth it. And that is something that I do to make trade shows really, really, really valuable. So listen, Dianna, you are so awesome. I'm so glad to have you here with us. And if anybody else wants some more information, go to TradeShowMakeover.com. You can get all the information about how to rock your next trade show.
That's right.
Thank you so much. We really learned a lot. And thank you all for joining us for Small Biz Chat Live. The mission of Small Biz Chat is to end small business failure. I'm Melinda Emerson, the Small Biz Lady, and we are over and out. I'll see you all next week.